Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, have you ever asked yourself, why am I feeling anxious? What's the reason behind this experience? If you look, you'll find the deeper reasonings behind our surface fluctuation. Most of the time, when we feel anxious, we just deny that. We deny looking for the reason for this fluctuation. We deny it by controlling our body and mind, or we deny it by adding something in the mind so we can forget or suppress this feeling. Normally, that's the tendency, isn't it? And because of that, we are not able to resolve this anxious feeling in us. And you know that it is true. Because if you know your anxious feeling hasn't been resolved, because it's keep resurfacing in your life, and every time it resurfaces, this anxious feeling puts you on the edge, isn't it? And some people are anxious all the time. And for some, there's a peace for a certain extent, and then this anxious feeling comes in. But still there though. And when this anxious feeling comes in, we start to narrate the story on it. And more we narrate, the more we get lost in it. So until we investigate and figure out the root cause of this anxious feeling, it's gonna resurface and again, and every time it resurfaces, it will just simply bother us. And it just not happens in the mind, it reflects in the body as well, isn't it? The body starts to act strangely. We feel strange in our own body with this experience. And to resolve this anxious experience feeling, people use spiritual techniques to dissolve it. But I know that it's not resolving for good. Look, people control their body with the meditation technique. People do the mantra repetition to suppress it. Any technique that you use is simply an act of suppression, act of denial. You may think that it's not, but look, no matter how many years you've been applying this meditation technique, mantras, visualizes to suppress it or dissolve it, it keeps bouncing back, isn't it? It keeps bouncing back in your life. This kind of approach is like trying to hold a ball underwater. When you have strength to hold the ball underwater, yes, you are able to tame it. But eventually your body will give up. You'll feel tired. And also you got to breathe. And when you let go it, the ball will just comes out and resurface on the water, isn't it? So all the techniques, the taming technique is like that. And if you reflect, you'll associate it with me what I'm saying, that it's not working. Definitely there's a way to resolve it, but controlling is not the way. Look, there are several places or situation you feel anxious, isn't it? Example is lots of people are anxious of flying. People feel anxious until they get to the next destination. The whole flight, there's anxious feeling. Hope this plane won't crash. Hope I won't get hurt. And some people make them distract with the entertainment that is present in the flight. And some people actually do the mantras, meditation, just to avoid that feeling, the anxious feeling. If you investigate, why am I afraid of flying and why am I feeling anxious, you'll find the deeper reason behind feeling anxious. The simple answer I can give you is the death. You're afraid of the death. Afraid of the death means you're gonna miss the experience of life if you die. So that's why you feel anxious. Another example is people are afraid of going to hospital these days to visit someone in the hospital or just visiting the doctor, isn't it? Especially after the pandemic, people are scared. And a hospital is the place where you see sick people, where the disease is present. And you have the idea of that. I don't want to catch anything while I'm visiting hospital. So this anxiousness comes in. People are anxious not to get late, not to be late. When you get out in the morning, you wait for transportation, and when the transportation is not there on time, you feel anxious. Or when you are in a bus or taxi, when you get caught in the traffic, you get anxious. You have a job interview, you get anxious. You cannot sleep at night, anxious. Everything in life is making people anxious. Isn't it? Everything we are associated with somehow makes us anxious. Everything we have added in life makes us anxious. At some point, so now you see, we feel anxious. And the deeper reason, I'll tell you, that we feel anxious is because of the fear. the deeper reason behind our anxious feeling is because we are associated with something, and when we are not able to fulfill, then this feeling resurfaces. So basically, we have give meanings to our lives, and we're trying to match ourselves, our perspective and our action to that meaning. And every time we are failing, we become anxious. So this meaning is just the preference that we have placed in life. We have attached to this preference. This preference has become the ingrained conditioning in us. And if you go investigate on your preference, you will see the fear. Fear of a lot of stuff. Ultimately, if you investigate on your fear, you will ultimately see the fear of death or fear of being nobody. Because death is the end of the experience, end of the fun, isn't it? That means no more fun, no more experience. You can only see this when you investigate yourself, investigate your mind. Now you hear me, now it makes sense, but you don't see this in the beginning. That means no fun, that means no experience. So, ultimately, because of the death, we feel anxious. Life don't have to be in this flow if you investigate your anxious feeling. So today, try investigating. After this video, sit down and ask yourself, why do I feel anxious? When something is happening in life and we feel fluctuated, we must look into that experience directly rather than adding something else is not related to what we are experiencing. So don't deny it. You look, there is a feeling of anxiousness in me. Where is this coming from? Or why do I have this anxious feeling in me? Just sit with that. Because there's an answer if you sit with the why. And when you see the answer, you follow back on that answer to deepen the self-inquiry practice, to deepen the inward journey. Why is that important? Why do I associate it with this answer, this idea, this belief? And this is the way to, trace the mind backward, to trace your anxiety backward, to figure out the root cause of the anxious experience or anxiety. And when you figure out the root cause of your surface fluctuation, that's not the end. Don't add positive idea there. Don't replace the anxiety with positive perspective and positive action. That is simply like you were in the hole and trying to dig another hole and put yourself in another hole, but you're still in the hole. So positivity in life is like digging the next hole. Yes, that hole is comfortable in the beginning because you're not dealing with the fluctuation, but the new hole starts to confine you again. And then that anxious nature will come back again, the feeling will come back again. So the positivity, is momentary freedom. Is by pushing the mind, that negative mind, away. And it doesn't work. And you know it. So, when you see the root cause of the fluctuation, now you dismantle the root as well. Dismantling the root will eventually make you free from the mind, free from your anxious experience. So once you see the root, dismantle the root with a simple why again. Why? Because that root itself is a conditioning. That root itself is a deeper preference, belief, or attachment. Your life is still happening from that root, and because of that, we are fluctuating in life. The feeling just resurface again. The anxiety resurface again. So you got to deal with the root by dismantling the root, by asking why. Again, why am I attached to this? And then this will help you to trace back all the way until there's nothing is left. And that's the way to do it. That's the way to be free from your mind, free from your anxious feeling. Not just the anxious feeling. This is the approach to dissolve all limitation in life, especially dissolving the mind. Mind is the one thing that is creating so much fluctuation in life, isn't it? Our fear that we have right now in life is a byproduct of the mind. If you can dissolve the mind through investigating the mind, you are dissolving the fear as well. The fear which is creating the anxious feeling in you. So everything will be dissolved. So the process is that.